Hi, guys. This is Kelly McCormack, and you're listening to How Are You Now, the toughest podcast in Letterkenny.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how my head's been feeling the last few weeks.
Yeah.
It's been kind of bonking around, and
it was screaming that something was wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
And you finally listened to it. And
yeah.
I mean, we're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
but
I think it's still trying to scream, and I'm still not quite hearing it. But
yeah, you're trying to ignore it right now. I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah, well, it's
you
my
can't
eyes,
see.
My eyes don't focus quite so great. Yeah. But anyway, that
Yay
was
for brain stuff.
Yeah. That was the Unprettier out of Brisbane, Australia.
Awesome.
A new overseas band. So yeah, they're awesome. Tiara,
What's up?
how are you now?
Good, and you?
Been better, but not so bad. Let's cut through a little pre-show stuff. The Patreon still going strong. If anybody wants to get connected in there, because as you heard at the very beginning, that was Kelly McCormack, who we did an interview with, and she's on our Patreon right now until the end of the season, when we'll have her. We will release the Kelly.
The interview.
Yeah. And then we also have merch. If anybody wants to buy merch, we've had a couple of folks, and actually we're getting a few iron-on things from somebody who has made them, a couple of hearts that say pitter patter, Black Lives Matter.
Yes, you did it. I love that.
And so,
fuck yeah.
I don't know if we'll be able to do them as merch, but depending on how many they send us, we will do some giveaways. And
love it.
We'll figure out how to do that. We haven't had any cosplayers yet. And I know it's been weird.
This is oh my God, we're halfway through June. How did that happen?
I know.
Jesus.
But
I thought it was like June 4th or 5th.
Yeah,
No, it's the 14th.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody wants to do a cosplay, pick your favorite. It's fucking easy to do a Letterkenny character. You can do Alexander.
Right? Poor Alexander in this episode.
So, howareyounowpod.com/cosplay. And any independent bands like the Unprettier, send us an email, send us a tweet. Emails at host@howareyounowpod.com or a tweet at howareyounowpod. Let us know if you'd like to have your music on our show, because we would be happy to have you.
Oh yeah.
And voicemails. We have a voicemail number. That, if you want to leave us a voicemail, if you have questions, your own thoughts, theories, those types of things, 304-50 Ferda. And we've got two voicemails for Tiara today.
I love you guys. I love you guys so much.
Because, Tiara loves her dad jokes.
And, it's nice to support your black friends right now by making them smile in happiness instead of...
That's right. So our first one is from Victoria. So
technically I stole this one from Tumblr, but why don't robots have brothers? Because they all have transistors. Love y'all. Bye.
Why don't robots have brothers?
Because they have transistors.
And then
I love that one. I have to send that one to somebody.
and then our next one is from Renee. So it's dirty. So.
Hey, Tiara, I had a question for you. I was very curious if you knew how to find a blind man on a beach. I really don't know how, but I can assure you it's not hard.
So there you go.
Oh, Renee.
And Renee will be with us next week. Oh, boy.
Love that man.
So, but this week we have with us, I've been on her show. This is her first time being on our show.
Wait, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
It is.
It is.
I know.
Danielle Chip Lehman.
Chip.
How are you now, Chip?
Good, and you?
Oh, not so bad.
Chip.
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 How are you guys doing? I mean, besides the, the head stuff and
Besides the world.
the glasses and the world and everything.
So you prefer to go by Danielle or Chip, or do you care?
I really don't care. So where Chip came from was I worked at K-Rock and Kevin and Bean for about 10 years, and the nickname actually came from my intern interview. So like my very first time meeting the show, very first exposure to them, we were talking about, hand over my resume. They looked it over and they're like, well, what is this Disneyland thing? I'm like, oh yeah, I work at Disneyland as Chippendale and a bunch of other characters, but that was my main thing. And so from day one, I was Chip.
That's
Everyone in the
awesome.
K-Rock building and, whatever stations that I came into contact, I was Chip always.
That's awesome.
And then in hockey, everybody has a nickname too. So like it kind of just naturally went into the hockey world too. So when I go play hockey, it's Chip. But honestly, Danielle, Chip, it's all the same for me. But yeah, it's funny because it was always hard to tell that we never really told the backstory on K-Rock because Disney is very protective of their brand and magic and all that stuff. And if you,
all that,
pull back the curtain,
Yeah.
they're not a big fan of it. Yeah. Mind blown. Like that company seems pretty chill.
Right, totally.
So we never really told the story. So I always got it was always so funny because people were like, wait, Chip's a girl? I was a dude. I'm like, yeah, I know. Chip's a weird nickname for a girl. I 100% get it, but there's a reason for it.
So Chip, tell us your Letterkenny origin story.
Okay, so I've being one of these people from LA, and in America, like Letterkenny was only really available widely in the past. I don't know, was it a year?
Yeah.
Before when it came to Hulu.
Not even a year ago, right?
About
Maybe a year before the big Hulu original.
Yeah, but before that, us DJs had to pirate it.
Go to Canada.
We had to go to Canada.
You went to Canada.
Of course, yeah. I drive to Canada.
Right. Yeah,
every
exactly.
week. My mileage, my miles on my credit card are through the roof. But my best friend is huge on Letterkenny, and a couple years ago, he's like, "You gotta check the show out. You gotta check the show out." And I started watching an episode here and then. I'm like, oh my God, this show's amazing. So, and I kept telling people about it, but obviously but it didn't really, and now Letterkenny here is huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's, and before COVID, they were starting that whole tour, which I was so bummed. I was really bummed too, because when, they have postponed the dates, but I had forgotten to take it off my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So when that day came and it popped up on my phone, it was like, yeah, Letterkenny tonight. I'm like, no, right? For anybody.
Yeah. I keep coming up against that. I have a lot of tickets that I had gotten for concerts this summer.
Yeah, and it's but yeah, so I've been a huge Letterkenny fan for a couple of years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We had VIP tickets to go as well.
Yeah.
Oh, fancy! You fancy?
Yeah. Because I wanted to try to talk to him.
Yeah.
He really wanted to go both to the Seattle and the Portland one, but we couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping.
He really wanted to, but we couldn't afford that. Maybe when it comes around again.
Yeah, maybe everything reschedules, and if people can't make the show, you're like,
because if it comes back around after tax season.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, okay, would you rather have it be rescheduled and you have your tickets already, or would you like to gamble? Say they can't, I'm not saying they're going to cancel it, but say they cancel the tour and you have to rebuy tickets. Which one would you rather do?
I think I would rather keep my tickets
Yeah.
than I have.
I'd rather
know I
that I
had
get to
them.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Comic-Con. When Comic-Con Emerald City Comic-Con got postponed, they were like, oh, we're going to do it in August. And now that we're getting closer to August, they're like, hopefully we're still going to do this. Whereas Letterkenny was like, no, we're just going to stop because this isn't going to end anytime soon. And we want to make sure everybody's safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Coachella, they just moved, they moved it to October. And then finally they're like, yeah, I don't think October is going to happen. So they kicked it to 2021,
That was Comic-Con with March, and they moved it to August, thinking, oh, that's not enough.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get big events like that.
I'm not going to a big event like that for very long time.
At least this time next year.
And if it's this time next year, I'll be happy, but...
Yeah. And it looks
Vaccine.
like the only sport we'll have this summer is possibly hockey, too. Like, depending on if...
You'll probably have football without fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or quarter of the
fans. Yeah. That'll be in like places like Dallas and places where they're like, no, we're open.
Yeah. Well, Dallas will defy things, and that stadium also has room for 100,000 people.
True story.
So,
yeah, true.
So anything you'd like to plug?
Oh yeah, my hockey podcast, Totally Offsides. That's an S on purpose. I'm not a dummy. I know there's no S in Offsides. There's a story. But that's my podcast, available on Apple, Spotify. It centers around Ducks hockey, but also around beer league and the NHL as well. Anyway, yeah. So the S at the end is because when I started playing hockey 3 years ago, I was offside. I'm not kidding you. I was offside 40 times a game.
Oh,
it was almost impressive. And I had watched Ducks games for years, so I knew exactly what offside is. But when you're on the ice for the first time and you're trying to follow the rate of play, like everything is it's so fast. And so like I would just see the puck and I would just go for it. and then like I'd hear a whistle, and then I'd look to the bench, and all my team would be just like. And my dear friend Brian, he's like so exasperated. I skated back to the bench. He's like, Chip, you were totally offsides. And for some reason in my head that like I didn't come up with I didn't have a podcast right away, but I think like months later as I was having the idea of having a podcast, I was like, that's a great name, actually. It just encapsulates my hockey career, which is I'm not very good at it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so who does your theme song, by the way?
That was Omar, who he worked with me when I worked. He still works at K-Rock, but
okay.
He does all the production work for Kevin and Bean, and now Stryker and Klein. So yeah, he was like, "Hey, I'll do your theme song," and I'm like, "Yes, please!" Like, and it's it's ridiculous and dumb and
must be
like
fucking nice.
It must be nice. I've got a team. I've got people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else to plug?
No, that's it. That's all pretty much I'm doing right now. I mean, I work for the Athletics, so if you guys like high quality sports media coverage,
yeah, I think I've got another sports guy that I've liked for a long time who works for them. I think Bob Sturm.
I think so. Yeah. I know the name. Yeah,
he's a football guy, and he's been following the Cowboys for decades.
Sure.
So, and I've followed, he's awesome. I mean, he's a big numbers guy. And so,
oh yeah.
So once I heard you were going over there, I'm like, oh, I know them.
Yeah. I produce, NFL and NHL podcasts for them. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah. It's super fun. I love it over there. I get to work from home. I mean, obviously everyone's working from home, but I did it before it was like popular,
See, that's what you need to do. You need to get into production of podcasts so you don't have to do the other job anymore.
Does it pay well?
I'm not complaining.
All right.
For LA, not complaining.
For LA.
Yeah.
Until you do podcasts in LA.
In LA. I'm going to do a taco podcast in LA.
I would be on that taco podcast.
That actually would probably be super popular. What am I doing? I'm actually going to leave right now and start my taco podcast.
Yeah, we're go down to a taco truck every day. And
hell yeah. Oh yeah, I'd like to interview you and eat your food. This is awesome. Thank you. Tell me about your food while I'm eating it.
There's enough taco trucks and restaurants. Like I can do podcasts for like years and never have a repeat.
Yeah.
Right?
Like ever.
Totally.
Trying to make my mouth water.
Yeah. We did this to ourselves.
Yeah, we did.
I blame us.
All right. So, real quick, last week, season 8, episode 4, Ferda, with our buddy Jake Whitco from Russellthon, and music by Monkey Shorts. Episode was Stuart was gonna fight the other drug dealer dude, and Riley and Jonesy figured out that they just couldn't do the boys club, so it was a pretty straightforward one. So this week, deep dive into Yard Sale Saturday, episode 5 of season 8. We start off with cold open, and the Modine's men's room, as we like to do. Wayne walks in, and Alexander is in there cleaning the bathroom. He's been working in there for 48 fiscal hours, tells Wayne that it's been fairly frightening in there. and that
sometimes there's shit on the outside of the toilet.
Huh?
Sometimes there's shit on the outside of the toilet.
Is that right?
You think that's bad, you should see the Uranus.
Huh?
You think that's bad, you should see the Uranus.
Did it get pretty hairy over there? Or?
Sometimes there's shit on the outside of the Uranus.
What?
Sometimes there's shit on the outside of the Uranus.
Fuck. Well, how do you think it got there?
Remember how I said sometimes there's shit on the outside of the toilet?
Yeah.
Well, I bet the shit got on the outside of the Uranus the same way the shit got on the outside of the toilet.
And every time he repeats itself, it gets funnier and funnier.
It really does.
Because then McMurray walks in and they repeat the
exact
entire
same conversation
thing over again.
Feels like you told me that a year ago. We are running daylight, eh?
So McMurray decides, well, I'm just going to go piss outside, and Wayne,
Smart man.
They're gonna go have a dart outside. Because they're tired of being in there because that's where the dicks hang out. When we cut to the produce stand, Katie comes out and asks Wayne what he's doing that afternoon. He says he'll have to check his agenda. She says she's already checked his day planner and that he's written something down and underlined it and highlighted in italics, and it's
Yard Sale Saturday.
So they start talking about how McMurray's got selling a lot. He's got like a 3 to 5 tabler, and Gail's selling a lot of all the old Modine's glassware. And Wayne tells Katie that she needs to be mindful that she doesn't already have too much glassware. And Glenn is selling a lot, and Wayne is looking for old signs and tins, and he uses the Canadian picker's mode of dickering, and that Rosie's coming out. She came calling, and Katie tells Wayne to invite her to the yard sale, to check out the yard sale because she's inviting Dirks.
Well, and Wayne, the thing with Rosie wasn't that she didn't
Well, she came
show it, but he's meeting her.
Yeah,
And
he's
they
meeting her
commented on the
to
fact
run the
basically that
dogs.
Wayne's wearing cologne for this
Yeah.
walkabout.
Yeah, it was a walkabout.
Walkabout.
Yes. So from there we cut to the gym. And Bro Dude have decided to have Riley and Jonesy to do a photo shoot since they couldn't get the club off the ground. Strike one. Riley and Jonesy then try to figure out who would be best to help them do the photo shoot.
Daryl's ex-sweetie. Is it racist to say that I think that Daryl's ex-sweetie looks like Princess Jasmine?
That joke comes back so much. So. That was the second time that joke was made.
Yep, that was. The first time it made sense.
Right.
This time
Rosie.
not so much. Yeah. So the next we cut to the basement. Stuart's flexing on the bench press when Allie and Bianca show up. They've come to tell him that since he risked so much for them, that they've come to reward him with some good fucking. So From there, we cut to the kitchen table. Katie is leaving for the States to go get Dirks and asks Wayne's for the keys for the trucks. Says she'll be back in 2 hours. They talk briefly about Wayne meeting Dirks at the strip club and what kind of impression that must have made on him. She says she'll proceed with caution and then leaves. Dan at that point brings it up to Wayne's attention.
You don't much cares for him, does you?
No, you shouldn't air your dirty laundry.
Good guy?
Who? Dirks? He's a pretty good guy. Oh, he's a great guy, that Dirks. Why do you say it like that? Huh? His name? Who? Dirks? Yeah.
Well, I don't think I'm saying Dirks anyway.
Oh, sure as he does.
Say my name. Dirk. Now his. Dan. And what's Katie's new sweetie's name? Dirks.
Yeah, no, I hear it. Your dude says it a certain way. You hammered really hard on the D.
Did I?
So
Dan. Derry.
Yeah, he's got his eyes closed on Dan and Derry.
The first impression, the lasting one.
That's right. So from there, we go to Riley's Jeep, where Riley and Jonesy are talking about Anik's racy Instagram. Riley says that he asked her if she'd like to be a real model instead of an Instagram model for Bro Dude. And then she sent him a bunch of her racy photos. And then from there, that was very, very, very brief. So now we know that Anik is with them. And then from there, we cut to McMurray's outside. Hick Boys and Rosie show up to the McMurray's yard sale. Mrs. McMurray takes Rosie inside to make some gin and tonics. Wayne is very impressed with the spread that he finds there. He finds a Top Tobacco Canada tin and that he likes and starts dickering. McMurray wants $50 for it, but Wayne feels that's too much. Just as he's about to start recommending that he bundles some stuff together, Dirks walks up and steps on the dickering and with his own bundling suggestion, upsetting Wayne. At that point, Mrs. McMurray and Rosie come back outside with the gin and tonics, and then everyone hugs. And I like the Dirks and Dan hugging.
Me too. What is it? Come over here, you giant. Wait, I wrote it down.
Cure for loneliness.
Giant cure for loneliness. Oh, that is such a perfect description of Dan, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Dan. Yeah. You gotta love Dan.
You want to snuggle him and talk to him and maybe teach him a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I mean, he's
open to learning.
He wants to be woke.
Yeah. And just had like the most amazing thing. I would love to have them address what's happening right now and what Dan would say in this kind of instance.
And what his professor would tell him. Yeah.
Right. But like, I feel like so many of my friends, when it came to racism, were like Dan, and they're all of a sudden realizing that it's so much more than what they thought it was. And like, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay. So anyway, we're back at the gym. Anik shows up and asks Riley and Jonesy where the photographer and the lights are, and they say they're doing the photography and the lights are on the ceiling like they always are. They explain that they're doing the photo shoot with their phones in order to become brand ambassadors for Bro Dude, and she's like, "Yeah, okay, allons-y." So they cut off to go do their photo shoot. Now we're back in the basement with the skids. Well, with Stuart, which is it's just a big music montage of all that good fucking. Stuart kissing himself and
kissing his bicep in bed. Yes. And then Roldy.
Rolled hiding off doing coke somewhere in a corner.
Like probably crying a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good coke and cry.
Yeah. I love that piece of art.
That was him.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I had a few times I just was staring at that and I'm like, wait, what's happening in the scene? Because that was like, it was awesome. It was very obviously rolled.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I'm wondering if that's fan art or something.
God, that would be cool.
Awesome. So then Modine's, where the Hicks show up with Rosie and Dirks, and they're ambling up to the yard sale of Gail and Glenn. Gail immediately starts hitting on Dirks because even when Wayne says, "Hey, Gailer," and she says, "Later."
Yeah, not this time.
She got only eyes for Dirks.
Yep. And then Glenn.
Yes.
And then Wayne just groans. Derry asks Gail for her pornos. Wayne starts dickering for Gail's original Modine's glassware, and then, of course, Dirks barges in on the dickering and makes Wayne even more upset. Rosie gives a few butt pats.
It's so cute. Like, for the first time, I really see those two. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you and I do. You start getting grumpy. Shh, it's okay.
They're very cute together. And
on their not date.
Yeah,
on the walkabout.
On the walkabout.
And Dan, I think, maybe reading a Bible.
Yeah, I think it was a pocket Bible. The thing that Glenn handed him. It was small with the red on the outside, but it was a black leather cover. Yeah, I think that was a mini Bible.
Maybe. But that was in the library. And then back to the gym. Riley and Jonesy with Anik have brought the bro dude lady back to the gym to show her the photo shoot that they did. It's kind of backfired. The lady decided it would be best just to hire Anik, let her two girls go, and forget completely about Riley and Jonesy.
A Star is Born, aka cleavage.
Cleavage, yeah.
Yep. And back to the produce stand. Katie and Dirk show up, and they've got Scott and Sheldon from the Canadian Pickers in tow. They take immediate interest in the produce stand, but Wayne says, he just can't part with it, but that he'd be happy to give them some fresh produce and a couple of beers. And then they just kind of chat about where they're off to next. And then finally, in the barn, Wayne is tossing barley bales when Dirks walks in. Same time, Marie Fred calls Wayne on the phone. He big times her.
Yep.
And
as he should.
Yep. And Dirks explains to himself about the meeting at the strip club, saying, "That's just not me. I'm not that guy. So I'm just out having a giggle." And Wayne says,
"And here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you, if you misstep, you'll have every dude in Letterkenny lined up around the block for you. Won't misstep. And I'll be coming first."
That's right.
And then he tells some dumb joke.
Yeah.
Like, wait, are you asking Wayne to fight you? Like,
yeah. He's about the ISIS,
but then the two fists up like he's gonna fight. I'm like, do you know who this guy is?
And Wayne says, "Get the fuck out of here!" Yeah. and then cut to black. Yep, that's it. And that's oh man, that's where we end it. Yeah, I think about how hard Wayne fights not fighting this guy.
Oh my God.
Every time.
Right?
I mean,
you can see it.
Yeah.
Just like
the growl also makes me laugh every day.
Yes. And how it gets just a little bit more every time.
Yeah. And he doesn't like him. Obviously he has to get along with him right now because of Katie and but he's still like that, that big brother who's like, you don't get with
Katie's
my
big girl.
Yeah.
She can make her own decisions, but just so you know, if you fuck up, we fuck you up.
Exactly.
That's right.
Which is the kind of thing, like, many of my friends said to many a date of mine, and I said to theirs. So
yeah,
I understand that.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Hopefully we've all been there. Hopefully we've all had somebody willing to kick some ass because you got hurt.
And I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, I can take care of myself, but it's also nice to know that if something goes down, you got backup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be scary when I show up. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts, theories
on you showing up.
Yeah.
Because I got thoughts.
Yeah. And theories.
Oh, you don't have to. I'll tell you exactly what's
going to happen.
No.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I didn't see it coming.
I know what you're talking about.
That was so
Thoughts, theories, trivia, questions on this episode.
Okay. I want to start off with a very important question that happened in the first 2 minutes of this episode.
Okay.
Why does McMurray stand tit to tit with Wayne in the bathroom? There's obviously enough room for him to back up because he does eventually kind of back up a step. But when he walks in, he's right, almost his chest is.
No.
Exactly. And then it's, hi, Wayne, how are you now? Can you? And he's like, and we're on.
Yeah.
This piss now streaming.
So, yeah, I think I've said it before where I feel like half the time McMurray is purposely trying to make Wayne uncomfortable and half the time he's oblivious. And I feel like this was one where he knew exactly what he was doing because as soon as Wayne was like, no, he's like, I'll do the whole thing right now and I'll get it right, even though I wouldn't have gotten it right if you had done it because that's our thing. And
I think Wayne, every guy has their one dude that they would do it with,
Oh, okay.
I'm Phillian sexual.
True. Very true.
So I think Wayne,
even though McMurray is so, no, he's not like that.
No.
And,
but I think
he's
it's
okay with you if you do.
Does McMurray remind you of Mike Judge? I get a very Mike Judge vibe from McMurray.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, my God. A little less uptight, just a little bit.
But he's Mike Judge-esque a bit.
King of the Hilly,
Well, yeah. I mean, he would be Hank Hill. Hank Hill for sure.
Yeah.
With some Boomhauer in there because Boomhauer's the one that.
But the thing
gets around, who's the?
No, Boomhauer. Yeah.
But it's not just
because Hank is very sexually repressed.
Yeah, he's very he's a 2x4.
Who's the John Redcorn.
Oh
yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit of McMurray's personality too. Not the secrecy of it, but the
but there's
but
he gets around a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think John Redcorn is so.
In the beginning of that series, they presented him as somebody who went around to all the ladies and helped cure headaches.
That's true.
He very much was not.
That,
yeah.
All right.
I stopped watching it after a couple of years, but you and Evan.
This is now a King of the Hill podcast now. It's now King of the Hill podcast.
I grew up with Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. When King of the Hill came out, I had to watch it because it was the dude from Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a lot of people who've compared King of the Hill to Letterkenny.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's like a Texas Letterkenny. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Fair enough.
All right. Okay. Right. What do we think about the is it racist if I think because they said it? Who said it?
Initially, Derry said it
about Rosie,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Riley and Jonesy said it about Anik, mm-hmm. And then Dierks said it about Mrs. McMurray.
Yes.
And what? Why is that joke the one that's?
Why is that the through line? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a weird one for me. Usually I'm I love this joke that it keeps coming back.
My guess is that's a joke that got said behind the scenes, and I bet we could ask Trevor Risk.
Oh yeah,
and he would probably know.
Oh yeah.
So,
and it's also probably what makes it, I guess, would make it funny too, because the three women don't look the same.
No, not at all.
No? And
it kind of made sense at first because the light skinned black girl looks like the light skinned black princess. Cool, got that. And then when they kept going with that, I'm like, really? Wait, what? I don't quite get this one.
The sandy blonde, the sandy blonde French girl,
and then the brunette.
Yep.
In that same scene, I think it was Riley turned to Jonesy and was like, "Do you think Bush did 5'11"? Or not same scene, but the next scene when they were in the gym.
Yeah,
you guys are so 5'11", which means
normal
or ordinary or something.
Average.
Do you think Bush did 5'11"?
That's how stupid they are.
Oh my God. It was so beautiful though. Whichever one of you writers came up with that joke, can I just kiss you on the mouth?
Yeah.
So fucking perfect. Roldy clarifying the Spider-Man quote where he was like about to get.
Actually,
he was because he doesn't like the girls, obviously, because they want to fuck Stuart. But it's just so funny how like I don't know how else to put it. How like pissy he got about it.
Like insulted that.
Yes, exactly.
He turned into a total gatekeeper.
He really, really did. He really, really did. Like, he was so upset over the fact that Stuart obviously wanted these girls and they were wanting him that he was just like, no, you can't quote that correctly, therefore you're not worthy.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Actually.
If you knew.
Well, in that same scene, Stuart broke the third wall.
Yes.
Wondrous. And he's looking right at the camera.
Yes.
Do you have anything on the beginning there?
What do you have anything?
Oh, I was just like I said, like even earlier, just the way like the whole toilet and Uranus, like had me cracking up in the first 2 minutes.
Yes.
Like,
and the horror in his eyes.
Yeah.
Like, why? Do they?
And also the confusion too. Like, why is there shit around the Uranus? Like, how did that get there?
I understand how it got there,
but I don't understand why.
Yeah,
like he looks like he's about to cry. I get it. I'm sorry, dude. Gail obviously fucked you on this job.
Well, I think I'm getting a little ahead too, but
I'm calling Alexander.
Well, I think it's a little bit ahead too, but I just love the fact that Wayne is so like I love how like throughout the series Wayne's excited by like the most random things, and the fact that he loves the show Canadian Pickers.
Oh my gosh.
And knows all the rules and like like it tickles me so much.
So like in my opinion, that's okay. Again,
I love his childlike glee.
Yes.
Yeah.
After talking to Trevor, we know that technically they did not write Wayne as autistic, but this episode, he's so autistic. He's got a special interest that he knows so much about. There is a specific way that you talk about this special interest, and he gets upset when someone else jumps in and does the part that he's doing.
Yeah, he has a clear system that he has to follow. Yeah.
And he knows what to expect because socially, like his social programming in that instance is you say this, they say this. You say this, they say this. And it's beautiful to watch because it really honestly looks like some of the kids in my school when I will give them a task about like, you know, there's a group of kids, go up and try and join their group. Here's a script to try and like you practice it with them. And like, I just feel like he went through social skill lessons. And so when he saw something like Canadian Pickers and they had this routine and this code, he was like, oh,
like, this is for me. This is,
yes.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah, he loves his rules.
Yeah.
When he can put his
and the
rules
history and tradition.
Yes. Oh yeah, and the fact that he loves like the tins and the signs and like that all harkening back to history and like you said like
and every holiday where he talks about the tradition and you don't fuck with tradition and like Dan being like, oh, you know, some of those companies. You know what? If you don't know your history,
you don't know where you're going.
Yeah,
you don't know where you came from. You don't know where you're going.
Don't know where you are.
Don't know where you are.
There you
That's
go.
right.
My bad. I'm sorry. This is my Spider-Man
I never
moment.
get a quote right.
Yeah.
Get it right, Chip.
I'll see myself out.
So something I brought up when Dean and I were watching a few times. I know exactly. I can feel the way that Wayne feels about Dirks. Like I can feel it. I understand it. I know exactly where it's coming from. The way he feels about that man, and I also know that Katie knows how Wayne is, and especially in the beginning of the episode when they set it up with, here's Wayne showing the routine that he feels comfortable with and is really excited to do. And then Dirk shows up and like steps all over on top of it. Why is Katie not helping out with this?
Yeah,
like she's got to be sitting there going, my brother's never going to like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I literally sat there like, if she wants Wayne to like Dirk, she should tell him to shut the fuck up. Because dude,
like
do that to my brother.
Dirks, slow your roll. This is Wayne's thing.
Right?
Like
I told you about this so that you could do it with us, not so that you could take over.
Yeah.
But we know how Dirks is. And I mean, I also don't think she would want her boyfriend, who she likes as is, to have to change his self.
I just don't see Katie.
No, I know.
Ignoring Wayne being uncomfortable. That's her whole thing is sticking up for him, and his is sticking up for her. So, there's no way she didn't see that was going to bother him.
I think she's stuck. That's what I think.
I worry that Katie used to be a character that would have stood up for that really quick, and with this relationship,
she used to pick dumber boyfriends.
She did used to pick dumber boyfriends.
Yeah, it's true. Or maybe it's that phase where you don't see anything wrong. You're everything Dirks does is great. Yeah, so, she's in that. She's not seeing that it's she meant logically knows that Wayne is uncomfortable, but when she's with Dirks, she can't see it.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's that? New relationship energy.
Yes, yeah.
She sees it as, she's probably seeing it as they're liking the exact same thing in the same way.
I think it was. I don't think it was that. I think it was that when he started talking about Modine's, she was like, you were listening. Yeah. You were listening and paying attention, and you actually remembered things that I told you. I think that's probably more where she's coming from. He's doing this because he knows I care about it. I like it. And I was talking about it. I don't think she's thinking about Wayne at all.
Yeah.
So.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
I like that new relationship energy. That put that nail right.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yep.
The same scene. McMurray is telling Derry not to pick up stuff, and then Wayne picks up the tin, and Derry's like, "Oh, how can we do it?" I love that so much.
That's because McMurray has a crush on Wayne.
Yes, I get that. I see that. Wayne can do no wrong. What are you talking about?
And also, sidebar too, these last 2 seasons too, I think McMurray has gone up a notch. As far as he became one of my favorite characters in the last season and a half.
He's still such a douchebag, but you actually kind of like him for it.
He's not talking about cunt as much.
Right. And not just, he's not being
5.3 inches.
It's not just about talking about cunts too, but it's talking about uncomfortable things in general, which a lot of society looks at as an uncomfortable thing, really is amplified in Wayne. Mm-hmm. And so he's not talking about as much anymore, but some of the stuff he does, it's oh yeah, come on. Again, the standing tit to tit with Wayne.
Yeah. That's weird crap, but you're all right.
Well, I do like how he was holding the cock bottle opener.
Yeah.
You sure, honey?
Sure. You want to hear this? It's your favorite.
I know you don't use it as a bottle opener because you drink gin and tonic all the time.
Well, when she kept trying to get other people to go in the house and they wouldn't go, so finally got Rosie into,
Take your girlfriend deep or your date deep inside.
Yeah. Take your date deep inside the
house. Okay. Who do you think Dirks looks like? Glenn names off 50 names, and none of them were the name that I was thinking.
Oh damn! Who does he look like? Because a name just came to my head, but now of course I'm just
I've had a minute to think about this.
Okay, yeah. So yes, you go ahead because I'm sitting here because he. Well, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
After you. No, I'm trying. I'm because it's so funny because his name's Dierks Bentley, which is the name of an actual country singer,
right?
But he doesn't look like Dierks Bentley.
No,
in real life.
There are no actual country singers anymore.
Also true.
Anywho,
that's me trying to.
I'm a country purist.
While I'm trying to think at the same time, but the names are still not coming to me.
Can you think of somebody you think he looks like? For me, it was literally the first name that popped in my head the first time I saw the episode, whenever it came out, last year. Mm-hmm. And I remember looking at it going, he looks like, and then waiting for Glenn to say, no.
No.
And I'll say mine in a minute. I want to know if, you guys would see it without my influence.
Yeah. He looks like Daniel Radcliffe.
A little, I can
kind of see that. Bit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to think. There's yeah, I know once you say your name, I'm going to be of fucking course. But yeah, there's nothing. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
I'm losing this.
So the first name that popped in my head when I saw him was Colin Farrell.
Yes.
He looks so much like him.
Yes.
Like the facial hair is a little off because Colin Farrell never really wore facial hair when he was more popular. I don't know if he's still acting actually. But like from the nose up without any facial hair on his face, he looks like Colin Farrell to me.
I can totally. That's 100%.
Do you need to see what he looks like?
Yeah, I was never a big fan of Colin Farrell. I always thought he was a douche. So
yeah, and
I think the only movie I can remember watching with him was in Bruges.
Oh yeah,
never saw that.
I was thinking one with him with a beard.
The Recruit.
That's one with him with a beard. But I'm like thinking when he's younger. Yeah, I can. I'll do this later. All right, so I'm going to keep that up. So I remember to look at that after we're off. Okay, so with Katie not seeing Wayne, getting more and more upset, I love that Rosie was very much seeing it immediately. Like the second Dirks introduced himself, or you must be Rosie. I must be.
Then I will be.
Then I will be. Like she was like, oh, this is going to be gross. I get it already. Like I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how like when he grumbles, like pat him on the butt. I said that earlier. Like we totally do that. I just loved that.
It's the I know.
Yeah, it's okay, babe.
Yeah.
But also because when they were dating, like I feel like I saw more affection between the two of them with like cute little looks at each other multiple times than I ever really saw when they were dating before. So that made me feel a little bit better about the potential of them getting back together.
Yeah.
So I think I've said before, like we don't know enough about Rosie, in my opinion, because she was here and then she was gone, and there wasn't a huge storyline with her.
Sure.
So I'm really hoping they take advantage of the fact that I think those two were really cute together.
Yeah, and Wayne deserves love.
I thought him and Marie Fred were really cute together.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, they were fucking adorable together, and then she fucked it up. So.
Yep.
That scene made me so angry.
Yeah, when I saw, I was like, I was trying to say no. That
for the entire off season, he kept going. No, we have to look at it again. We have to make sure.
It was a misunderstanding.
I looked at it. There's no other angle that we can look at it from, honey. This is CSI.
Can you get the sky cam?
There's that has to be something like it's got to be a relative or.
He really wanted it.
Yeah.
Because they were
Wayne hit his head and it didn't really happen. He just hallucinated it, you know?
Yeah.
It
was a bad dream.
Yeah. He got hurt. He got hit. He got punched in the fight. And
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
So the last thing that I wrote down was about Canadian Pickers itself. Here in the U.S., we have American Pickers, which has been around for like 20 years and is actually still going. Canadian Pickers was 4 seasons, started just after the American Pickers one. So it ended in 2013. But so I think that was why they're like, yeah, we're still doing it, just not with the cameras. So I thought that was really a nice little thing. And I just love how every time something comes up in entertainment, what's the word? When something comes up in pop culture that Wayne actually understands, it's usually like 10 years behind or so.
That one was that one show he like was binging forever, and it was like from like the
God damn it.
Not Miss Manners. Miss Fire.
Miss Fire.
Fire. Yes. Yeah. Like I love anytime it's always like, well, Miss Fire wasn't a real one.
Fruity.
Canadian Pickers was a real show.
Yes. But still, had been long gone.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And how like we saw Wayne get animated for Wayne when they showed up, and he's like, oh, he jumps out of his chair.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Wayne just moved. What? So I love that they do things like that they just put little random things in there that not expecting everyone to get it, because I sure as hell believe that there are a lot of Americans out there that probably watched it and they're like, oh, they're just ripping off on American Pickers. No, there actually was
an actual thing.
That was an actual thing in their culture too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, there's stuff we steal from each other all the time. So
Canada and the U.S. are the same country. Don't let anyone tell you different.
Yeah. No, what's the
we have
joke I heard?
slightly different leadership right now, but not really.
Yeah, we're just kind of racist against other people.
Yeah. we switch who we're racist against depending on what side of the border we're on,
Right,
but
I can't remember who said it first, but like Canada is like the nice apartment above a meth lab.
Oh,
yes.
I've heard that. That's not true. I believe that it is the meth lab next door in the duplex. Because Canada has just as bad a problem with racism against Indigenous people, against Black people, and they
have fewer people up there.
They have fewer people up there
per capita.
So that's what makes it less.
Yeah.
So they make Coke. We make meth.
Well, they're size-wise, they're about the same. Just because Canada has less people in it, that means that they have more money, probably.
But they spread it over a bigger surface
Coke.
area.
Fuck, I love these weird conversations we get into.
All right. You have anything that you would like to add?
I'm trying to think. I took notes too, so I was trying to figure out. I did love the subtle Jay and Silent Bob. I don't know if you noticed that. In this
Which word did I miss?
Boo Boo Kitty
Boo Boo
Fuck.
Kitty Fuck, yes.
Yeah.
I said that in our last episode. I was like, yeah, Boo Boo Kitty Fuck. Or not the last episode, the one before, right?
Tight shirt, big pecs.
What is it? Smooth cock, long dick, or something like that?
Smooth cock. It was, I do love Dirks's nicknames. They're fucking hilarious. You know,
I think that I would feel like he was a slimy human being if I ever met him in person. But yeah, I crack up. So much about him.
I'm trying to think of what else. I also had I was watching this episode and with Gail and Glenn both hating on Dirks. My friend Allie, she just finally started watching the show. And at first she watched, and I had told.
Does she have a friend named Bianca?
no friend Bianca. no, badonkadonk. But she started watching episode 1, and I told my friends, if you're gonna watch it, it's like any other show you're not really used to. I'm like, give it a couple, and it just takes you a minute to get used to the humor, get used to the feel. And the first episode, she's like, "Am I watching Napoleon Dynamite?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I don't like Napoleon Dynamite." So, and I'm sure people will fight me on that, but it's overrated. But what got her was Gail. I think episode during Fart Book, I told her to, I'm like, because some people have a problem with the Fart Book episode. I'm like, I think Fart Book was ahead of its time. If it was later in that first season, it would have been perfect. I think that kind of episode was too early. But agreed.
Agreed. I mean, people look at Fart Book too literally.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I mean, yes, there are actual farts.
Yeah, it's actual a website of farting.
But it's about social media being a bunch of bullshit.
Which, where's the lie? Completely accurate.
Exactly. Exactly.
But Gail, is her MVP. She wants to live a life like Gail. She's like, I can't. She's like, I want more Gail all the time.
Yes, I love Gail.
Yeah.
We definitely need more Gail.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, like you said earlier, the excitement that Wayne had for Canadian Pickers just pretty much most of my favorite part through the whole episode, because you don't see Wayne excited about much. Puppies.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
A three-legged dog.
Yeah. Puppies, beer, and Canadian Pickers. That's
yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it, right?
Well, maybe not just beer, but drinking.
Drinking, yeah.
Because he does
holidays,
like Gussenberg.
At Christmas.
Yes.
I guess
he does love Christmas.
Yeah.
So that would be the traditions and holidays and history all kind of rolled up into that special interest.
That umbrella of history and
He likes doing things for people.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good
guy.
He's a good guy.
He's a great fucking guy.
I don't know why we're not doing Wayne right now.
Oh.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Anything else?
Sorry, I'm just thinking about doing Wayne now.
I'm in all of my head right now.
Come on, boo boo kitty fuck. Come on,
that's pretty much
tight shirt, huge pecs.
So stiff, so phallic.
Oh my god.
Yep. Pretty much.
That's my thought on the whole issue.
So are we done with thoughts, theories?
I think so.
Yeah.
So we're ready for a little, maybe, All right, a little fuck fight Ferda. So fuck fight Ferda, for those of you playing at home, is where it's our own version of fuck, marry, kill. But we don't want to kill anybody, and we definitely don't want to get married to anybody right now.
Although they are Canadian, it might get us out of here faster.
Oh, good point.
So fuck fight Ferda. So we're gonna fuck them, we're gonna fight them, or we're gonna be good buddies with them. So Ferda
boys, Ferda buddies.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
So that's what we're gonna do. So, and as we do, we start off with Wayne.
All right. Wayne is single, and he's all cute and shit, talking about his special interests, and then he gets to meet his idols, and I would definitely fuck Wayne in this.
Same.
Okay. All right.
Total agreement.
There is something about somebody who's buttoned up, who gets excited. Because I'm sure this is because I'm autistic, that I love when people just, what's a good word? When I download information from them. I don't know how else to say this. Like they'll get into turn and talk for like 20 minutes on something that I have no idea about, but it was so exciting because they love it so much.
Exactly. Yeah, like that's like one of my like things too. Like if someone like, if like a dude I'm dating like doesn't like something that I'm not considerably super into, but if he's super passionate, I'm like, you could talk to me all day about it. Like that's rad. If like your passion is my like, I'll take it all in. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know you know that too. You like when you can make other people happy, and that's kind of that same thing. If somebody is happy talking about something, I just I have no idea what you're talking about, but keep going.
Yeah. Like computer science and shit. I'm like, yeah, go on. I'm like, I know binary 1-0. I don't know computer science, but go off, do it.
Let's talk about IP addresses. Dairy.
Ferda.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Ferda.
But I feel like that's gonna backfire when I hear the third name. But I'm gonna say Ferda.
Well, yeah, I say Ferda. Just, I mean, Dairy's always just this. How do I explain this? There is a difference between the awkwardness that is Dairy and the awkwardness that is what I'm attracted to. Like, I wouldn't mind like stealing a couple of those 70s or 80s Playboy magazines, but other than that, nah. Ferda.
Ferda. Like he's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to. I don't have anything against him, so I wouldn't want to fight him. Yeah,
Right.
he's there.
Yeah.
Ferda.
Yeah. Katie.
I get along with it, Ferda. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Like this, I don't know. She didn't have a whole lot in this, and I was kind of pissed off that she didn't stand up for Wayne. But I get the NRA thing. I get the like blinded by lust or connection or whatever that feeling is. And yeah, I say Ferda because I'd be like, dude, did you not see what that was doing to your brother? How did you not
totally,
say
like,
something?
Like, bro with her and just like, hey, like as a friend,
Right.
Whatever, like slap her.
Right. Like you guys cute, but this is your brother.
Yeah.
Squirrely Dan's.
Ferda.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Ferda in this one too.
All right.
I'm happy with the gigantic cure for loneliness.
Yeah.
McMurray.
I always get that face because my first thought whenever you say it is, do I want to fuck him? And then it's okay. Do I want to fight him or do I want to just be friends?
Yeah, because there's things that would make me want to fight him for sure. But I think for the most part too, he's like harmless. He says shit, but he's harmless.
Yeah, he's only dangerous when it's the scrap, when it's the big fight that he wants to get involved in.
And I don't foresee,
but otherwise he's just annoying as fuck.
Yeah,
he's a good fighter. So
yeah, that's why they keep him around, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I'd say Ferda.
Tight shirt, huge pecs.
Tight shirt, huge pecs. That's his name.
So,
all right,
Ferda.
Oh, Dean.
Alexander. He had a speaking role.
Oh, fuck, for sure. No, I'm kidding. He'd be a Ferda. Poor guy. I'd give him a hug for him to clean the toilets for 48 hours.
The toilets and Modine's too.
Ooh, and the Uranus. I forgot. Oh, the Uranus.
And the Uranus.
Yeah. The shit from around the Uranus.
I'm definitely saying Ferda.
Okay.
But I'm saying Ferda because, that poor guy.
But I wouldn't hug him either because I'm like, he's probably.
I wouldn't hug him, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like an air hug. Like, I'm here for you, buddy, but.
Air high five.
Yeah.
Yep. Rosie.
I'm still not at the point where I want to fuck her because stupid Demi Brain doesn't. She's really cute, and I love the affection that I'm seeing. Even though they're not dating, I actually feel like I'm seeing more affection between the two of them now. I love that. I'm gonna say Ferda.
I'm sorry. What did you just say? I wasn't listening.
You just said the name and you just went off into La La Land.
Mm-hmm. Oh, believe me, I know. I know how much he loves Rosie.
Time. Yeah, I'd say Ferda on her. I'm okay with her.
All right.
She's gorgeous. She's cute. She's got a nice little booty. I knew that's what you were looking at.
I'm sorry, what?
I know my hubby. Looking at the booty. What?
Jerks.
God damn it. Oops. Sorry.
What?
There's going to be some feedback. Oh, shut up. There's going to be some feedback because I hit the table. Because of course I did.
He's good looking, but I don't know if I would fuck him because I feel like he's still like that smarmy kind of.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I feel so boring having Ferda for a lot of these, but I don't feel like I'd fight him either.
Yet.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like the jury's still out, but definitely not fuck right now.
I say Ferda as well.
Yeah, it'd be a cautious,
not just
Ferda. A cautious Ferda.
Yeah. It would be like someone dating my friend, and I'm not sure if I like them or not yet, but I'm going to give them a chance.
Yeah, you're gonna
That's
be polite,
where I'm on Dirks.
but you're still like sleep with one eye open, bud. Because
exactly.
Yeah, be on your best behavior.
You cross.
Mrs. McMurray.
So cute. I mean, I don't like gin and tonic. Would she still want to fuck me?
I don't think she gives a shit.
Yeah, I think you.
Okay. Then I'll say fuck.
All right.
I'm also Ferda with her. Again, I feel like I'm super boring, but
it's totally okay.
Yeah.
Gaylor.
Ferda. I want Gaylor to get laid, but she scares me a little bit.
I think my friend Allie loves her, but I would be Ferda.
Bland.
I mean, if I had a how do I put this? The image of him with 2 recorders in his mouth was stuck in my head.
Well, that's 2 recorders.
Yeah.
Or even like the picture, like sometimes I'll look up like gifts, like
the 2 popsicles.
The 2 popsicles, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
He wouldn't want to fuck me.
No, that's why I was trying to say, like, I don't. If I had the parts, I feel like I would really enjoy that kind of an encounter.
I don't think I have the necessary equipment.
So you're saying he's a bottom.
I'm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're saying Ferda.
It's like a Ferda by default. I feel like. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Riley and Jonesy.
I feel like actually I would fight them. Actually, it would piss me off so much. Both of them.
I think I'm with you on that one.
All right.
Like, do you think Bush did 5'11"? Dude, can I smack you? I have 5th graders that know more than you do.
And like, I'm like, really? You think a phone is sustainable for a photo shoot? Like, come on,
right?
Idiots.
It's not. Anik.
So full of shit. Did you like that? I really don't like her personality, and I never really have. She's cute. She's got great tits, but she's not. Personality is what does it for me.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't necessarily want to fight her.
She's there. Yeah.
But I don't.
There.
Yeah. I don't necessarily want to Ferda either. Like, I would more be closer to fighting than Ferda, just because she was always kind of a snotty bitch, in my opinion.
She's French.
She's French, yeah. So, like, where there's part of me that's like, cool, go do your thing, girl, and get that money, and forget about Riley and Jonesy, they're idiots. Also, like, did you really? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, actually, I think I would fight. I would fight her. Fuck that bitch.
Thank you.
All right, you're both fighting me. And now the bro dude lady.
Fight.
Smack the shit out of her. Fuck that bitch.
Yeah. Scott and Sheldon.
It took me a second to realize who you were talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, wait.
I'm like, Sheldon from Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
I don't know. I you know what? I'm gonna say Ferda because I want them to find me the Airstream camper of my dreams, and they might find it in their travels.
Yeah. I could need some more stuff in my apartment. I think they'd be really helpful with like finishing the place out because it's a little bare.
All right. All right.
And they can point me in the direction of any oddities and weird things that they find.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stuart, I'd
fight him. I love him, but I'd fight him.
I would too. Like, he's just more and more rude to his friends, his actual friends, because of two girls that aren't going to stick around and actually be in a relationship with him. They just want to fuck him because he has a big cock. And which tells you my answer for whenever you ask about Bianca and what's her bucket. Allie.
Yeah.
And Allie and Bianca Donk.
Well, I knew it was Bianca because Bianca Donk. Yeah, I'm going to say fight. I feel like he does not care about anybody else but himself in this episode. And like poor Roldy was just like, trying to mimic the same thing the girls were doing. And then Stuart like hissed at him almost.
Yeah. Like,
and then
dismissive. And that's your bro. Right. He's been there since day one. Like,
right. Yeah. He jumped in there and fucking like went Game of Thrones on some dude in your fight.
Yeah.
Come on.
I love that. He fucking slid in there with the bottle and just
crash,
kneecap the dude,
and then went for the eyes.
That's not love. I don't know what is.
Right?
All right. So are you both fighting Allie and Bianca?
Yeah.
Then all right. Then we're gonna finish off with Rolled.
If I had all the parts, I would fuck him in a heartbeat.
Oh, really?
But I don't have the parts that he would want necessarily.
He might.
I know that Dax and Ron have said that they've been with women before and they have no problem with that. I don't remember hearing Roldy ever talk about being anything more than gay.
True. But maybe it's his one time to try.
You know what? I'll say Ferda with offered benefits.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
How's that?
All right.
Solid play.
I can go with it.
Yeah. I got a strap on.
Yes, you do.
Love you.
All right.
You gonna delete that?
No. I'm not embarrassed.
I'm so glad. As soon as I said it, I was like, I should have checked with you first on that one.
I'm not embarrassed at all.
Oh, it's fucking hot. Anyway,
why would I be embarrassed to have sex with my wife?
How dare you, sir?
I don't know. Okay, are we going to talk for a second about SpongeBob being gay, or?
He was kind of like, oh, by the way, he's gay. Here you go.
I'm like, we all knew Patrick was.
Yeah.
I thought he was asexual.
Who, Patrick or SpongeBob?
Patrick.
I thought SpongeBob was asexual.
I think, I saw somewhere, I think Nickelodeon years ago said that SpongeBob was asexual. But again, they could change that.
You can be ace and gay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gace.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anywho.
Final thoughts. This was a good episode. I enjoyed it.
Much fun. I said much fun.
Yes.
Much fun. Yeah, this is so far been a very good season.
I have enjoyed this season. I like the buildup in this season. I like the way that they are exploring the different relationships this year. Yes, I'm super excited for whatever comes next, which hopefully will come out in the next month or two. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully.
Yeah. At least give us some previews.
Right. Yeah. Just tell me if it's coming in July or not. If it's not coming in July, it's fine. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Just tell me.
It's usually July. Was it July? Then August.
Usually July and
October.
September. No.
Usually October? Usually it's July and December.
Yeah. So I'm wondering how much of production they did before this all started.
That's what I was trying to.
So my understanding was that it was done.
I think Trevor Risk hinted that the next, what he thinks of as the next season is done, but he also said that when it gets shot, he's never sure what happens in what part of. Sure. So it could have been that they didn't finish everything, or it could be that they had everything done and just needed to edit for the next few months. And but we haven't heard anything. So, I like how it almost feels like it's gone back to its basics on this is about the relationships between the characters and the family bond between, these guys and the friendship that these guys have had for years, which is nice. It's more of what we've come to expect from Letterkenny as opposed to last season, which felt a little off. Mm-hmm. This season is feeling back to what it's supposed to be. Yeah. And I love it.
Yeah. It's tidier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The comedy is got that good pace, that good fucking pace.
Good storylines, the whole thing. Like the whole arc that is happening with Katie and Dirks is, I'm really glad that it's happening this way, because I remember when the show first started and everybody would slut shame Katie for being with two men and how, she just was kind of seen as just the sexy side chick or whatever by a lot of people.
Yeah.
And now it's exploring a relationship where she's almost demure with him, where she's almost like, oh, I'm going to be...
Polyamory exists.
But that exists with consent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why some things, why they say...
Otherwise, it's not polyamory.
Otherwise, it's cheating and not polyamory. Exactly.
Cheating.
Exactly. So I'm really glad they're exploring this storyline this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have any final thoughts, Chip?
No, you guys covered it. It seems like you guys, it feels like you guys are like, pros at this kind of Letterkenny podcast. It feels like.
We do this a time or two.
We've done this a couple times.
Once or twice.
We were just discussing what we're going to do if the next season doesn't start. We're like,
yeah.
We're like 3 episodes away from being done with our podcast for now.
Yeah.
And that's weird.
Right. That's the same too, like with covering like Ducks hockey. The Ducks haven't played since March, and they probably now won't play until December. So it's like, do I take a break? Because otherwise, like, people want to hear me just yammering.
Don't be lazy.
If you know how much I worked in my real job, like, this is not being lazy. It's like, I don't have time. But do you make time, and then they all, how do you fill the time?
Yeah.
So very interesting for both podcast worlds is how to.
We've talked about that a little bit. Maybe that's something we'll bring up with fans on our. When this season is over, what would you like us to talk about or something like that?
Movies, Jared Kiso's done. We're thinking like Elysium or something like that.
Yeah. We talked about maybe finding specific episodes with actors that we like from like The Expanse or there's so many Canadian shows that we could shows filmed in Vancouver that Stewart is in or Gail.
You do all or the the Disney the Descendants show that Dylan Playfair does.
Oh yeah. That's your daughter.
My daughter. Yeah.
You're like,
she's 20 now.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, she grew up with that. She's still a Disney princess, but now she's more of like a
Disney punk rock princess.
Okay, I like that. I might have had a little bit too much influence on her. I'll just say that. Her mother probably does not appreciate that.
It's not the best though.
Yeah. Anyway, so next week, season 8, episode 6. Holy shit!
My goodness,
we get to see the dicks again. And our buddy Renee Encarnacion is back, and so that will be fun.
That's going to be an episode that you're going to want to light a blunt before.
Yes, because Renee will.
Yes.
Whatever gets you through.
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly, I will admit, I love doing the show when I'm really high. I am not right now. This is me sober. Like, how can you tell the difference? I'm really quiet at the beginning and then I get louder. That's me sober. If I'm I'm really loud right from the beginning, I'm probably high.
And how do you know if I'm sober?
You're always sober.
It's just a straight line. Yep,
exactly.
Well, every once in a while, there's a little margarita or Bloody Mary, but that's literally like one.
Well, yeah.
Yep. That's about
blip.
it. Just a
I'm
blip.
a wino.
I may have an edible, but that's before bed.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, sure.
I don't generally do podcasting before bed.
And honestly, most of the time when I'm smoking pot, it's medicinal. It's for pain. But sometimes it's because I want to be really social.
Yeah. Sometimes the world is pain, so you just gotta take care of it.
Pain.
That is definitely that particular bill has definitely gone up in the last couple of months.
Yes, it has.
Yes.
Well, actually, not as much as I thought about that, and I'm probably at like 150% of my normal,
which is not terrible.
It's not super. Yeah, it's not like double or more. It's hey, summer vacation starts after Tuesday. Tuesday, my 5th graders graduate. I am on vacation. I'm gonna wake up and spend $100. No, I'm not. I'm kidding. That's a week. That's a week.
And on that note,
I love all you people.
Thanks everybody for joining us. We will see you next week and talk about more Letterkenny stuff. So take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of How Are You Now? We want to thank our good buddy Chip Lehman for joining us, and as well The Unprettier for joining us with their music. You can check them out on theunprettier.bandcamp.com as well as on facebook.com/theunprettierbrisbane. Please join us next week. We're getting close to the end of the what's left of Letterkenny season 8, and we're going to try to get some more interviews. If you have ideas for what you would like during the off season, please let us know. You can tweet us at howareyounowpod or send us an email at host@howareyounowpod.com. Anyway, thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.